everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Retirement Living. My name is Kate McArdell-Broome. I am the Director of Retirement Living, and we have a lot of exciting things to go through today. So thank you for joining us, whether you're in the comfort of your own home or with, your neighbors watching at a coffee morning. We appreciate you take the time to hear what we have to share with you today.
I'm Jen Davis-Dean, Head of Retirement Living for the East Region. And I wanted to talk to you about resident surveys first of all today. You might know that the deadline for completing our surveys has now come to an end. Operations managers made their way around all of your schemes over the past few weeks, so I really hope you managed to complete it, and a big thank you to all those that did fill one in. As a provider of social housing, we have to conduct a resident survey, or tenant satisfaction measures, as they're known by our regulator. But more importantly than that, we really want to do it because it's a brilliant chance for us to hear how you feel, what we're doing well, and where we can improve as well. So they really are so important to us as an organisation. All the completed surveys have got a few more days to make it back to Acuity, which is the organisation who collates all of your responses and analyses the results. And then we expect to get some top line results by mid-December, and then we'll get our final reports in February. At that point, we'll make individual scheme and patch reports available, and we'll come around to each and every one of your schemes to talk through the results with you, gather any further feedback, and we'll use that to produce action plans for improvement at any courts where that's needed. So thank you again for taking your time to complete the survey, and we look forward to getting out to your schemes with the results. I also wanted to let you know that we've recently launched our new quarterly performance report. So this is a report for our residents and anyone else interested, so that you can have a really clear view on how we're performing against our various targets. We want to be transparent and open with you and really accountable for our performance. So if you take a look, it includes our progress in lots of key areas, like how we're maintaining the quality and the safety of our homes, how many homes we've got empty and how long we're taking to fill them, our response times for different types of repairs, how we're handling and resolving resident complaints and concerns, themes from resident engagement taking place at schemes, and we'll hear a bit more about that later from Sarah, and a look at our employee wellbeing, training completion and current initiatives to support improvements as well. So there's lots more too, but we've tried not to overcomplicate it. So it's hopefully an easy and an informative and an interesting read. You can find it on our website under the residents section and then performance. Please take a look, let us know what you think, and let us know if there's anything else or anything different that should be in there. Your feedback will help shape future reports. So we really want to make sure it's focusing on the things that matter most to you. So do let us know. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jen. And again, some really great feedback from what we've seen so far. There's a lot of exciting things that we can use to kind of build our plans next year. So keep that feedback coming, because as Jen said, it's really important to us to help shape our service for you moving forward. Now I'm going to pass over to Lindsay, who's going to give a very important topical update on Awaab's law.
Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay Leach and I'm Head of Retirement Living in the North Region. And as Kate says, I'm going to talk you through some updates on Awaab's law. Most of you will be aware that this came into effect last week on the 27th of October following the tragic death of little Awaab in Rochdale. The first focus on Awaab's law is damp and mould. And a project team was put together and we've come up with lots of material, documents, videos, quizzes for you to look at, take part in, so that we keep the focus and we know what to sort of look out for. So we've got damp and mould posters, we've got flow charts to go through so that we all know what we're looking for. There's a fabulous video that you can scan a QR code if you technically savvy. If not, speak to your local housing manager and I'm sure they will do it at a coffee morning for you. Just some preventative tips to make sure that where possible you don't get any damp and mould in your apartments. The LHMs are busy at the moment doing the hazards module training so that we make sure that we get everything reported, investigated, remedied in a timely manner. And if you've got any questions at all on anything to do with damp and mould and Awaab's law, please don't hesitate to ask either your local housing manager or your operations manager. Happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thanks, Lindsay. And again, feedback we've had already from some schemes that have done the quiz said it was really interesting. It helped give them a bit more information. So please do get involved. And again, your safety, sorry, is paramount to us. So any questions, as Lindsay said, please do let us know. Right, now we are talking service charges with Richard.
My name is Richard Wield and I'm the Head of Retirement Living for the West Region, and I'm really pleased to be able to tell you today about the changes we've been making around everything to do with the service charge and the service charge discussion meetings. Throughout November and up until Christmas, your operations manager will be visiting your scheme to discuss the service charge budget with you that takes effect from April 2026. You should have ample notice of the meetings, and all the paperwork and proposals should have landed on your doorstep at least 7 days in advance. Effectively, we've revamped all the material that we use to make the service charge as easily understood as possible. And one of the main guides is the guide to the service charge and rents. And it's not just us that's been working on all the material around service charges. We have a group of residents who form part of our resident service charge group. They've made a fantastic video that's really easy to watch, and it helps to make the service charge much more understandable. I really encourage you to watch it. And if possible, we'll be encouraging local housing managers to play that video at coffee mornings leading up to the budget meetings, if you have the facilities to play that video. This year, please tell us how we did by filling in our survey once the service charge budget meetings have been completed. And we'll keep listening to what you tell us about the improvements that we can make, and we'll continue to make those improvements. So happy budgeting, everybody, and back over to Kate.
I will be handing over now to our special guest, Heidi. Welcome.
Thank you, Kate. So I'm Heidi Fisher. I'm the National Property Development Manager, and I've come here today to talk to you about makeovers, all things makeovers. So I manage the interior design team. So I've got 4 people in my team who work across the country doing all the fabulous makeovers that hopefully some of the residents have got to see recently. So we tend to do about 50 makeovers, maybe 55 a year. So I wanted to cover today just some of the ways that we do engage with residents when we're delivering our makeovers. Residents really shape what we do. So we've got lots of really good practice that we've been working to for a number of years. So one of the things that's really important to us is working with good dementia-friendly design. So we've got a whole set of principles around good practice, what not to do, and what really works well for people that either have dementia now or may get dementia in the future. We engage with residents pretty much from the start of the process, through the process, right to the end. So we'll start off with a designer pop into the scheme to see what kind of colours you want, how do you want to use the space, are there things that are frustrating that you want us to resolve while we're doing the makeover. So obviously that could include different flooring choices, works to kitchens, communal areas. So the makeover will be everything: flooring, decorations, new furniture, new window dressings, artwork, accessories. Our aim is to kind of turn it into a bit of a sort of hotel hospitality standard. So I think we've actually nailed that now. So I think our standards are really high, but it's always led by residents. So right through to coming to the meeting on court and giving you a few mood boards to have a look at. The residents vote for which one they like the best. Those that can't make the meeting, they get a little slip so they can still choose. We leave the boards there so people can have a little look at their own time and come back to us. Then we get the works underway. So one of the things we also like to do is think about artwork and nostalgia. And one of the things that I always find when I visit schemes is the residents love to talk to me about artwork, or how maybe we've used some artwork from the high street from years ago that they love to have a look at and remember the sweet shop that used to be there, or the butcher's shop and things like that. So the artwork is a big hit, and a lot of people comment on that when I visit schemes. We also do furniture testing days. One of the things we've done involving residents is making sure that what we buy is fit for purpose and it's comfortable, it's practical, and it's going to last. So we do involve residents with our furniture. So we're actually retendering furniture at the moment. So we will be using a panel of residents to help us choose our new furniture. So it's not about choosing what we want and what we like, it's about what works for you. So we work really closely with residents when we're delivering a makeover, and through the process in terms of how's it going, what did you like and not like. So I tend to pop out a bit randomly, but where I can, go and visit some schemes after they've had the makeover finished for a few months or even a year, and just ask them over a coffee, what went well, what could we have done better. All of this for me is really important because it's about how we deliver investment. What did we do well? Can we change something to make it even better? But I think the feedback from the makeovers is really, really positive. And I think usually I get to hear a lot. The famous quotes from residents tend to be, I feel like my lounge is now like a posh hotel. And for me, that feels like we've done a good job. So watch this space. But yeah, more makeovers to come. We're doing them every kind of 10 to 12 years. We do inspect them as well. So when they're coming up to the time where we think they're going to be due, we will pop out and have a look round just to check, how's it wearing? Is it desperate? Does it need doing? Could it wait a year? Subject to budget. So there's a lot of good work that goes on behind the scenes, but ultimately it's to really make sure that the makeover looks fantastic, but it's what the residents have chosen and what they would like the space to be used for. But I hope to see some residents on a scheme soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Heidi. And I was out last week doing some scheme visits and have to say they were beautiful. I liked the mood boards, all the variety that they had. I did go to one scheme that was in the middle of a makeover, and the residents were really happy with how things are going. So I completely think that you're absolutely right. It does look like a hotel, and nicer than most schemes I've ever seen. So thank you. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to hand back to Lindsay to discuss staying safe this winter.
Thanks, Kate. So yes, just want to talk about staying safe. Don't want to put the damper on anything, and we don't want this to be the bar humbug session, because we just want to make sure that you stay safe. So firstly, if you're over 65, have you had your flu jab? If you haven't, you need to go get it. I am not over 65, but I had my flu jab last week, a week after having had the flu. I was supposed to have it the week before, but the flu got me first. So go get your flu jab and don't get laid up in bed over the next few months. The other thing just to bring to light is the leaves are all falling off the trees. And they are a serious trip hazard. So make sure you take extra care when you're walking around the scheme and outside, that you don't become a victim of a fall from the leaves. And finally, we'll just talk about Christmas decorations. We all love Christmas decorations, and we love to come out onto your scheme and see the beautiful decorations that you all have. But please, be safe. Don't use anything that, looks like it's had its day. Check wires and everything. Have a fabulous festive season. Stay safe, and we all look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, Lindsay. Yeah, it's great seeing how engaged and decorative some of the schemes can be. But like you said, just be conscious of health and safety this time of year as well. And last but most certainly not least, Sarah, over to you.
Thanks, Kate. I'm Sarah Dodson, Head of Retirement Living in the South East. And from earlier discussions, it's quite obvious that Housing 21 likes to hear the voice of our residents. It's a top priority for us. That's from scheme level all the way through to our board. We're committed to ensuring that resident opinions are at the centre of our decision making. We really believe in working alongside our residents to improve and develop the services we provide. One key way we do this is through our resident engagement groups, which offer our residents the opportunity to share feedback on our services, policies and the future direction. raise issues that matter most to our residents, and help shape the way we work. So we have got a lot of panels and forums that are available for residents to get involved in. They include our retirement living residents forum, a recruitment panel, a complaints panel, a digital inclusivity group, an LGBTQ forum, a disability forum, an environmental awareness group, health and safety group, service charge group that Richard's already talked about, and our Reach forum, which is our race, equity and cultural heritage. These are all groups that are open to all residents who want to get involved and make a difference. They usually do meet online, either monthly or quarterly, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. There's no need to travel. But we do understand that it's not for everyone. Not everybody wants to join a panel or a forum, but there are other ways that you can join in and offer your feedback. So Jen's already spoken about our annual resident survey. It's a key opportunity to share your experiences and suggestions on the services that you receive from us. We hold local choice and consensus. So these are all those local decisions that agree on anything that affects your local scheme. Periodic resident meetings. So you'll know that your local house manager will have resident meetings where your operations manager or your regional operations manager will attend. Heidi's already discussed the design discussions that we have with upgrades and makeovers, and then the all-important feedback after any major work. So tell us what went right, what went well, what we could improve on. We've also recently introduced our resident engagement app, which is accessed by your local housing manager. And this app captures themes across patches or nationally that we may not be aware of, or we need to take more notice of and hopefully resolve those. Richard's discussed the annual local service charge meetings that are currently or will be held soon, and also your input on local contractors and specifications for all the works that happen locally on your schemes. Sometimes we don't get everything right, and we acknowledge that. So when that happens, we encourage our residents to use our complaints procedure. This not only just ensures your concerns are formally investigated and addressed, but it also helps us learn from our mistakes and make better decisions in the future. If you would like any further information on these groups or feedback opportunities, please speak with your local housing manager or your operations manager, or if you think there's anything that we're missing and we need to get more feedback on, please do let us know.
Thank you, Sarah. And it's fantastic to hear the variety of options we have for our residents. So as many of you can get involved, please do, because we'd love to hear from you. I am now going to discuss a few things looking ahead. And I should have said at the very beginning that this is my third week in the business. So I am new to Housing 21, absolutely loving it. I can see the passion from the team, from residents, how happy people are. So I'm really pleased to be here. And looking ahead is part of what I'm planning with the team. So quite excited about what's to come. One thing I wanted to highlight is our allocations review. So feeling safe in your home is absolutely our top priority. So we're reviewing how we assess suitability for our retirement living schemes to make sure that every resident feels secure and supported. And that will be over the coming months. And you'll hear more updates as time goes on and that review is undertaken. So we've talked a little bit already about your celebrations and your schemes. As Lindsay said, she was going to be going to all the Christmas parties and the festive celebrations, but we might, you might see some of the rest of us out there too if she'll let us in. But it is a joyful season. We know there's a lot of events going on, and please do, take care of each other. Look out for us because we'd love to see all the great things that are going on in the schemes. Again, it was discussed about winter, the darker mornings and evenings. So if there's any concerns, please do raise those because we want to make sure everyone, as I've already mentioned, is safe and secure in their homes. And we're here to support you where we can. If you're ever concerned about a neighbor, please do speak to your local housing manager. And again, we're here to help. And then, as I mentioned, exciting plans for 2026. So Heidi touched on there'll be more scheme makeovers on the horizon. more engagement activities and forums, because your voice matters and helps shape what we do. So I will be out and about in the regions and would love to see you all. Please come say hi. I might be having one of the heads up with me. We'll see how that goes, but please do keep listening to our updates. Any feedback you have, if it was great, if there's anything we've missed, please let us know. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.